Hey, so this will be for Pisces. Oh, there's the Emperor. I was like, where's the Emperor? Right next to the Two of Swords, and I believe the Empress was somewhere behind the Two of Swords, or did I already shuffle this? It does not matter. Hello, this is my third attempt. I'm doing this thing, trying to figure it out. I should have had the details out below, but basically, I'm going to be going through the zodiac starting from the bottom, or starting from the end, and working my way towards the top. Because it seems that I don't quite make it all the way through, and the later half of the zodiac is always neglected. So I'm gonna start from the bottom, work my way up. I'm still figuring this out as I go. I know what I want to do. I just don't quite know how I'm gonna get it to work, but we're gonna do that. It's fine. I'm gonna be pulling. Basically, I'm going to be shuffling up, centering the decks around the major corresponding to the zodiac, and then I'll pull the top and the bottom. I'll be using this deck to symbolize Pluto retrograde. This is the Spirit Keeper's Tarot, Angel at the bottom. I'll be using the Pride Tarot for Venus retrograde, the Kauai Tarot for Saturn retrograde, and the Wild Unknown Tarot for Jupiter retrograde. And then there'll be like a more conscious lesson and then a more subconscious thing. The conscious lesson will pull from the top, centering that card in the middle, and then the lesser conscious theme I'll pull from the middle. And then we'll see if I can make this to work. I was talking about how the moon is in Pisces today. I didn't even know it until I looked it up. I've been reaching out to a lot of friends today because I guess that's what Venus retrograde has me doing. And I was wrapping up my work. I found my notes, so I'm about to be a third of the way done with this class, and I'm excited. Ooh, we got that Sun card and the page. So this is what the Nine of Pentacles and the Sun between the page and the Eight of Pentacles. This could be a shift in direction. It's just like how plants will turn to face the sunlight, right? It's like you've been growing in the shadow or growing with less sunlight. You move the plant, now it's going to turn in a different direction to face this new sun. But it's going to continue to grow, just in a different direction. Bottom of the deck is, I'm hungry. The Healer, the Star. Interesting. The Sun and the Star. But yeah, I've been reaching out to a lot of friends today. I reached out to my Sag friend. He said he was having a rough day today. And so then I looked at the moon. He's fire, sun, moon, rising, triple fire. I'm like, oof, my goodness. But we're actually really friends. I've talked about him before. He's like super empathic and I'm super empathic. So we've had, like, there was this one time something was going down and we had this like whole telepathic conversation while it was all happening. And then we talked about it after. He's like, yeah, I could tell that you were like, and I was like, yeah, and I can tell that you were like, yeah. Ooh, Death and the Tower. Okay. This deck is symbolizing the Pluto retrograde, so hey. Give us a few of these, and when it's right, I'll give it a three-way cut, and then I'll begin. But yeah, I've been reaching out to a lot of friends today. And I guess in the past few days, honestly. I reached out to my Leo friend yesterday. Or the day before we reconnected. Reached out to my Sag friend today. I guess an Aries friend will be tomorrow. And then I'll work my way through the zodiac. Ooh, what was that? Almost came out. Oh, the Three of Cups. Yeah. I'm glad I reached out because he said he was having a rough day today. So I actually already pulled around these, but I took that video down. I'm going to re-upload it. By doing that, basically I'm going to screen record the video and then re-upload it because that's how I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to have a little bit of fun tomorrow coming up with thumbnails for these videos. I'm going to put up a generic one after this, but I'll come up with something more legit just to exercise my creative muscles a little bit because it'll be fun. Okay, three-way cut and then we will begin. What's an easy way to do this? Well, first I'm going to start from the bottom and find the moon card for Pisces. And then I will make another attempt to figure this out. The first attempt was 11 minutes. And then I was like, wait, what am I doing? I had to stop it. Like, let me figure out. Because I know what I want to do. I just don't know how I'm going to do it. 1 second. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to pull out the card and the card behind it to make things even. Okay, there's the moon card. I think I kind of already saw what's behind it, but I'll close my eyes. And so now I have 2 cards, right? And so what I'm going to do is so all of these cards were behind it, right? I'm figuring this out as I go. 78 divided by 2 is 78, 39, I believe. Hey Siri, what is 78 divided by 2? Yep, 39. Okay. So to recenter this, I'm going to put these behind this to act as if these 2 cards are in the middle, right? Because if I put this... Oh, that's how I was going to do it, to make it easier for myself. Because this was the bottom. This was the bottom. Oh my gosh. I'm going to figure this out. I've been doing schoolwork, and so my brain is... I'm supposed to be taking a break. So if I put this in the middle, I would have 39 on top and on bottom, right? So these were already behind it. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are up. 7. Okay. 8, 9. Got it. 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then this should also be 39. Oops. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 41. Wait, what? Oh yeah, because I have these 2. Wait, oh my gosh, give me 1 moment, please, while I figure this out. 1, because it was 78. That's 39. It should be 39 on both sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There were 80 cards. I took 2 out. That's 78. 78 divided by 2 is 39. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I did it right. I don't know how I counted 2 extra cards. So if I put these back in the deck, it would be like this, right? This would be the top. This would be the bottom. And then this comes back out. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know. Oh, well, there we see right there. I don't know why I made this so complicated. And then I'll note what's left. No, I won't, actually. I'm going to keep moving because this would be super long if I did that. Oh my goodness, bear with me, y'all. Well, left at the top is this 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Cups. Oh my gosh. the grotesque, and that's the bottom of the deck. That's at the bottom of the deck. That is around the Pluto retrograde. So we have the, well, might as well flip it up. So these are the only ones I'm actually going to keep. This is the only one I'm going to keep on the table. The other ones I'm going to not. We'll see, actually. I'll be so glad when I get my stuff. Alright, I'm going to give this 2 shuffles a cut, 2 more shuffles. All of these are upright. I guess I'm going straight to Jupiter because this is the Jupiter retrograde deck. I'm using the Wild Unknown Tarot for Jupiter retrograde because Jupiter is wild and unknowable, right? Expansive, Sagittarian, free, expansion. Okay. One more. Starting from the bottom, I'm going to be looking for the Moon card, and I'm going to do the same thing. Hopefully it doesn't take as long. Ooh, the Emperor and the Empress came out fairly close together. I could be counting it as I do this, but that would be too convenient, right? Okay, I'm going to close my eyes, flip this over, set it behind here. Well, before I do that, I'm going to count the 39 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It should be 36. Because that's 78 minus 2 is 76. That's 38. 7, 8. Yeah. I don't know how. See, I'm up there trying to talk about math earlier today. Now look at me. Look at me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 38. Starting from Aquarius on, these are already going to be out on the table. I've tried to do it so y'all can see, but I mean, it'll just be a longer video and I'll put a timestamp on it, I guess. So if I put these together, because this was the bottom, right? This would be the top, this would be the bottom. Oops, I looked at it again. Because it would be like this. Right, so here's the top. Oh wow. Here's the bottom. And I'm gonna slide this card under here, but I'm gonna put the moon back in the deck. Right, because I'm using this as the anchor. 9 of Swords. Okay, wow. The 9 of Swords in this deck is especially grotesque. And that's around the Jupiter retrograde. I guess it's fitting because the 9 of Swords is like dark visions, right? With Jupiter being in retrograde, it could bring an energy because, ooh, wow. Jupiter is the energy of good fortune, and so with Jupiter going retrograde, depending on how our fortune turns, it could be us sort of not really being able to see a way outside of our situation or circumstances. Can be kind of hopeless, and the 9 of Swords can be that energy. So I'm going to give these 2. The Kawais will be the Saturn retrograde because they are the least busy deck I have, and Saturn is a planet of restriction and boundaries. Boundaries, restrictions, and limits, whereas Jupiter is like, expansion. Starting at the bottom, looking for the moon. Oh, there's the sun. What does the moon look like in this deck? It looks like the moon. Okay. This will be the Saturn retrograde. We'll see how this works, y'all. I feel like if I do it for Pisces, I gotta do it for everybody. So I guess it'll be something to do. Who knows? Okay, wow, Moon. Like, work. Like, be at the bottom of the deck. I guess it was technically, would have been the top. Girl, okay, you can come out now. You can come out now. Did I already? Oh, no, here's the moon right here. Okay, so I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna flip that upside down. So I'm gonna put these on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is gonna be a while. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oops, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. So this will be the top, and then this will be the bottom. See, I'm getting better as I go along. And then this comes back in the deck. This gets put back here. 4 of Cups. This is rough. Saturn is bringing the 4 of Cups. We got the 9 of Swords, the 4 of Cups, the 5 of Cups. Let's see if Venus brings us anything nice. Venus is like, wouldn't count on it, but you can see I'm like, wait, how many cards do I have? Oh, here we go. Okay. So this will basically be 3 rows. I'm actually going to shift these to match. And then this goes here. Okay. Nice. Not quite how I imagined it, but I'm working it out as I go along. I'm kind of sort of like that if you haven't figured it out. I'm just like, I want to do this. I want to do it this way. And then I figure it out as I go. Sometimes, or I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then I figure it out as I go. Ooh, just saw the 10 of Cups at the time. It does look like there's a possibility for lots of good things to happen. I think that was the second one. So now we're going to be looking for the moon. For le moon, le moon. I'm listening to my peaceful meditation. It's not my peaceful meditations playlist. I'm listening to a peaceful meditations playlist on Spotify. It's called Peaceful Meditations. This is going to be 39 because this also has 80 cards. Because it's the 78 plus 2 extra cards. There's the moon. Close my eyes. Flip that over. Okay. Here's the moon. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So the top of the deck, this will go here. This comes back in here. Top of the deck is here. Bottom of the deck. No, I'll just pull that. Bottom of the deck is here. And then these come back in here. The new bottom is the Knight of Swords. So communication is going to be key. Looks like where we are now, or maybe where we were when we came into this. Looks like hurt feelings, dark vision, maybe not too optimistic. Five of Cups, Four of Cups, Knight of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. That's Nine of Cups, Ten of Swords. But that's a 4, 5, 9. So maybe lost an opportunity. Nine of Cups is a wish granted, but with the 4 and the 5, it's like, be careful what you wish for. But either way, I feel like it's kind of sort of dark. Like maybe there was a lack of communication, or not great communication. That's just what I'm feeling from over there for Pisces. Alright, let's see what we got. So when it comes to, let's start Venus and work our way back, I guess, because it's right here. So we have Judgment as the underlying theme for the Venus retrograde, and then we have the Queen of Cups as the overlaying theme. I feel like the Queen of Cups speaks to the energy of, like, because you know, with Venus retrograde, people are going to be reaching out, but maybe seeking some kind of emotional fulfillment. And I remember it was like around the Mercury retrograde in Pisces, I believe. I was like, it's like people are going to be seeing who the bright spot in their life is. This could be like the one that got away, the best relationship you had, or they had, right? I think this is really putting us in a space to want to connect with people. Maybe lovers, past lovers, ex-lovers. Could be just friends, right? But with this Queen of Cups, it's telling me like it's a lot of that subconscious sort of feeling, just wanting to be connected. Oh, let me, 1 second. I'll say like 20 minutes because I want to put a timestamp on this, right? Since it took me so long to get set up. It's 11:09, almost 11:11. I might miss it because I'm not gonna wait. So if I'm still on my phone for 2 minutes trying to open the note app, then hey, I'll be on here. I'll say 21 minutes just in case. Actually, give me 1 second. I'm sorry. We're breathing in this time. It's 11:11. There you go. Boom. Make a wish. I'm holding the portal open for you. Or do whatever you do with that. As long as it's good. Anything that won't fly can't enter. So, grounded before you even reach the terminal. So in the space of Venus, we have this Queen of Cups, which is all about connection, right? This may be us seeking because this is the conscious, more surface level element, right? And so it's kind of, oh, I love that I'm going to end here now, because I said I would end with the I Ching, because I'm not going to pull up on a message. Anyway, I'm sorry. Distracted. The energy actually looks pretty good. Like, the lead up looks really intense for Pisces, but in these seasons it looks decent. Or at least there's a lot of capability. Again, I guess this is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Mercury, Neptune, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Pluto. However you resonate with Pisces energy, if you resonate with Pisces energy, this may be for you. Man, I'm gonna have to come up with a title. How do title? No, I ain't doing it. I'm sorry. I'm so bad at titles. um, but on the surface, oh wait, let me put down the modified time. I'll put 25 minutes. And then if I'm already talking, folks can go back. I know. I am how I am. I'll just say, I mean, I may repeat myself a little bit, but I'll just put the timestamp in for now. I'll say 26:20. So, when it comes to retrogrades for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Mercury, Neptune, Uranus, Jupiter, Pluto. However you resonate with Pisces energy. On the surface level, it looks like this is all about connection in the Venus retrograde, which makes sense. I mean, you're Pisces, you're already probably touchy-feely. Probably, maybe not, right? This is for Pisces anywhere in the chart. But the Queen of Cups to me speaks of connection. And to me, it's almost like this desire to connect more deeply, maybe to ourselves and maybe more spiritually, or just to seek greater fulfillment in relationships. And so it's like we're going to be, through the power of Venus, we're going to be reaching out for it. Now, this may come as a means of, like, it could be you having the desire to reconnect with an ex, or having exes sort of pop up. But it'll probably be the one that like you had the best friendship with, maybe, that had the best chance of getting off the ground. If this is about looking back, this could be reconnecting with friends, reconnecting with family. This could be actually, I don't know, deepening your own spirituality, connecting more deeply to yourself. This could also be, this is cardinal water, right? This is a Cancerian energy. And so this could be also relationships maybe that didn't get too far off the ground, that had a lot of promise, had a lot of potential. On a more conscious level, it's our desire to connect, right? And Venus is really going to be having people wanting to connect, and after all of this lockdown, quarantine, isolation, it kind of sort of makes sense. On the more subconscious level, though, we have judgment. And in this deck, judgment speaks to the energy of, like, we don't have to die to have heaven on earth. This is an energy of, like, making heaven on earth. We don't have to die and then be reborn or resurrected and reborn in heaven to sort of, like, meet this judgment to improve things. We can find that sort of connection and fulfillment in our everyday lives. The angel in this card is Sappho, who, I want to say she writes, like, queer love stories or poetry or something. I don't remember. I'm sorry. But this is a very romantic element here with Sappho, which is interesting because it's judgment, right? But I guess this is the space of Venus retrograde, so again. But I feel like subconsciously, like I said, it may be a desire to connect deeper to self. But some people may not have that bridge to self, and so they get that connection to self via other people. But also with judgment here, I feel like it's going to be putting us in a space to really evaluate relationships and to evaluate connections. Again, people in lockdown and quarantine, locked up with folks, makes sense. The folks you locked down with, you might be looking at them another kind of way, maybe coming to a boiling point. As we are several months into this now. Sort of in between is this Six of Cups. And look at the moon. I was like, the moon? What? I pulled the cards around the moon. So basically what I did was I shuffled the decks up because I'm putting the timestamp in here. I shuffled the decks up. You can see here I shuffled the decks up, and then I found the moon card in the deck, and I basically recentered the deck around the moon card because I'm using the moon to represent Pisces. And then I pulled the top and the bottom around that to sort of see what's sort of sandwiching this Piscean energy and this retrograde. Each deck corresponds to a different retrograde. I'm using the Pride Tarot for the Venus retrograde. But I flipped the card immediately behind the moon in reverse. Then I recentered it. These are all the tops of the decks. These are the bottom of the deck. The top of the deck is the more conscious element. The bottom of the deck is the more subconscious element, maybe a more collective element. We take it as it comes, right? So back here in the space of Venus, I feel like we're definitely, Six of Cups means nostalgia, which confirms everything I was saying about, when Mercury went retrograde. That's before the timestamp, I believe. So when Mercury went retrograde in Pisces, I was like, it just seemed that, like, whoever the brightest spot in someone's life was, like, that's who people were reaching back towards. Another interesting thing, I guess, talking to one of my friends at least, is that, like, it seems like he's in this space of more so this judgment, where it's like realizing and recognizing what relationships aren't quite working, right? And so Venus retrograde is also going to be giving us this opportunity as well as this opportunity. But maybe sort of depending on where you are or the space that you're in, it's like either you'll be reaching out to someone maybe to find some of that happiness, or you'll be like judging people reaching out. Or not even people reaching out, just like the relationship dynamics in general, like what's working, what isn't working. And with the Six of Cups, it's going to be asking, or not asking, but we're going to be going in the direction of like finding something that worked, something that felt good. Because Venus is, could be the planet of getting desires filled, the planet of fulfilled desires. And someone's wanting to feel good, you might have to reach back in the past, and that's kind of sort of what's driving this. But I feel like it'll be important for us to sort of like not fall into the potential trap of like what feels good in the moment, right? That may be like fulfilling a more substantial desire versus like lusting after something, you know what I mean? Potentially. Then moving into the space of, I'm actually going to switch these. No, I'm not. I'm going to do it how they're laid out. I'm just going to do it different the next time, I guess. Now moving into the space of the Saturn retrograde, which I guess kind of sort of makes sense coming off of this. I thought this was justice because we have the scales, but it's actually temperance. I'm going to do a both. But temperance and judgment, right? Coming off of Venus, we're wanting to reconnect. Now we're coming into Saturn. Saturn is the planet of boundaries, restrictions, and limits, which is also retrograde. So that may be this judgment energy down here may be coming from more of this Saturnian influence, where it's like, yeah, I want to reach out, I want connection, but the type of connection matters. Or maybe it doesn't matter. If you just want, it's all about fulfilling whatever you desire. If you want something more surface level, just like physical interaction, then like no judgment, pursue it, right? So at the top of this we have temperance, but subconsciously we have this Ace of Wands. I feel like it's interesting. I'm actually going to go to Jupiter first and then come to Saturn. Because with Venus, we have all, like, we want to feel good. With Jupiter, we have this Nine of Cups and this Mother of Pentacles, which is the Queen of Pentacles. So it's like, this could be a karmic reward instead of a karmic, punishment. My brain is going, y'all, so bear with me. But with this Nine of Cups, it's like the Jupiter retrograde could actually bring us in something that was long overdue. Jupiter is the Wheel of Fortune, right? And sometimes, when the wheel turns, it's moving from one area to another area. So if you've been in a space of maybe some kind of financial hardship, you could be getting an opportunity to really drastically improve your finances, as well as get some kind of fulfillment in other ways. Um, I feel like on a deeper level, though, whatever you get financially, the mother of, oh wow, we have Cancer and Capricorn. This is Capricornian energy, cardinal Earth, and then we have Cancerian energy, and then we have this sitting in the middle of this opposition. This is interesting. That's really interesting. This is fire energy. This is water energy. Judgment could be fire, right? And then we have this Temperance, which is all about balance. But the reason why I wanted to do Saturn is because with this Temperance energy, I feel like Saturn is going to be asking us, or is going to be putting us in this space to ask whether or not something makes sense. But I wanted to see what the good stuff is before, Saturn tries to come in and convince us not to take it up, potentially. But I feel like there's going to be, this Jupiter retrograde is going to be bringing us stuff that we desire in other areas, right? This could be reinforcing this desire to connect, desire for fulfillment that we're coming in from the Venus. Or this could just be like maybe us just like wanting to do something fun, wanting something good to balance out all of the stuck or bad or whatever we've been experiencing, right? One of the dangers of Jupiter is it can lead to substance abuse. Shout out to Pisces. And I'm reading for Pisces, so maybe be careful with the bottles, Pisces. I actually just bought like a whole liter and a half bottle of wine. I got my saltines, my pepper jack cheese after I finish this assignment. One of these nights I'm gonna put on Eureka, get my wine, eat my cheese and crackers, and just unwind and have a good time, right? But unwinding every day, I would just say be careful that you don't slip into the energy of using substances to cope, even though it's like, what else are we doing at this period of time, right? You just don't want to, I don't know, cause any damage to your liver if you're drinking, or especially if you're the type of person who already struggles with substance abuse, Pisces, because a lot of Piscean energy is connected to substance abuse. It just is what it is. But with this Queen of Pentacles backing it, I feel like there is an opportunity for actual substance. Just like with this Judgment backing this Queen of Cups, I feel like if done correctly, there's an opportunity for actual fulfilling relationships, and not Venus retrograde mistakes, right? And it's only a Venus retrograde mistake if you, after engaging with whoever, be like, oh, I shouldn't have did that, I was just lonely or whatever, right? But they're all lessons. Mistakes are only mistakes if you don't learn. Some people make lots of mistakes because they never learn. I'm sorry. But yeah, I feel like, below this surface level desire to feel good, I feel like with that Nine of Cups is I just want to feel good, right? So be that a substance, be that whatever it takes to make you feel good. Jupiter is a Capricorn in fall and retrograde, so you may, Pisces, you may be going hard in the bottle and the whatever, but maybe, I don't know, seek healthier ways of fulfillment. Let's say that you're a creative, right? So maybe instead of drinking to pass the time, or drinking because you are going through whatever you're going through, it can be anything, any kind of substance abuse. It could be video games, it could be YouTube, it can be anything. But maybe go a little bit deeper. Let's say you're creative, or you're a chef, or you're this, or you're that. Maybe pursue something that will engage that artistic part of your brain, that will give you that source of relief, that sense of relief and escape, but could do so in a way that produces something, right? I don't know if the production of that something will then lead to some kind of financial something or another, but hold up, wait. How long have I been using this deck? No, maybe I'm seeing it. Am I not seeing it? No, I'm not. I literally just realized that there's a baby deer on this. I'm literally just now seeing it. I got this deck November 2018. Literally just now realizing there's a baby deer here. Maybe if you channel your whatever, and because Jupiter is also the planet of good fortune, right? So if you are creative and you create something, maybe there's an opportunity. Like if you treat it like your baby and you nurture it, care for it, if you have extra time on your hands, give it a little bit of extra time, put that extra little bit of like oomph on it. We have this Ace of Wands from Saturn. Dedicating a little bit more effort, it may pay off. I can't believe I'm literally just now seeing that baby. So on this in-between space here, we have the Four of Wands. So definitely an opportunity for this to really take off. But it's gonna depend on like how you get your fix, let's say. Right? There are productive, creative ways to get a fix. And maybe the fix, because again, over here, okay, I'm going to backtrack a little bit real quick. So with the space of the Venus retrograde, the card we have in particular at the top or at the bottom, because these are the bottoms at the top. Y'all can't see them over here, but they're over here, is this Knight of Swords. And so maybe this is going to be related to an area like maybe there were feelings that we didn't communicate or feelings that somebody didn't communicate. So one of the primary driving factors in seeking this fulfillment is going to be, again, like I did kind of say, like with the Queen, it's cardinal, so maybe there was a situation that didn't quite take off, right? So maybe you go back and try to communicate something in that space. Over here on Jupiter, we have the nine of swords as the top. Nine of swords, nine of cups right here. And so I feel like this may be an area of escape. This Jupiter may just be pure escapist Jupiter, Pisces. And I'm saying Pisces because it's the Pisces side of Jupiter, but also Pisces because this is from Pisces. So there's a desire to escape from something, I feel like. Maybe things have been looking a little down. Pisces, being mutable water, especially. High seas and Albion, beautiful girl. What, Siri? Ain't nobody talking to you. Ain't no bastard talking to you, Siri. Sorry. Siri just threw me all the way off. Siri was like, hello. Maybe somebody wants to say hello. Maybe somebody already said hello. Pisces. With that Nine of Swords. But with this Nine of Swords, this could be because we've all been in isolation for a minute, and so that's going to be playing against all of this. It's almost like the perfect setting for this these retrogrades to come in and shake things up. It actually is the perfect setting because now we're getting in a space where we've been looking at and analyzing our lives, right? And retrograde is all about revisiting, reanalyzing, maybe seeking readmittance to a place that was we've lost access to. But maybe things are kind of sort of beginning to look a little bleak in the quarantine. And that's why someone is in this space of just like needing escapism. Like needing it. Like Nine of Cups with the moon up here. Like somebody could be getting black out, just like whatever it takes to numb the pain. This is like a beautiful energy up front, but it's kind of resulting from a kind of sort of tragic space, it feels like. But it's like there's temperance again, sort of being this balance between both of them. That's why I came over here, because I feel like this temperance is going to be playing on both sides. I mean, it isn't between both, but anyway, still. But with temperance, it's all about healing and alchemizing and transmuting. So, like, you could do that substance route, you could do that avoidance route, or you can channel that, alchemize it into something beautiful, dive deep into your creativity, really care for it, and then see it like bring you rewards. This could also be the energy of like, I don't know if you've always wanted to write a book, paint a certain piece. Like I'm getting heavy creative energies, but it could be literally anything. Anything that maybe you haven't had the time to do. And I know a lot of people have done a lot of things that they didn't have the time to do by this point. Or maybe there's something that you've already done, but you can take it a step further. Give it that extra caring touch to make it really pop. And then maybe put it out there where people can experience it so it can gain some kind of traction, right? Now, coming to the Saturn, back to Saturn, we have the Four of Cups sort of sitting at the bottom of the deck for Saturn. And the Four of Cups speaks to an element of waiting, more so than anything, right? It speaks to waiting. And then we have Temperance up here and the Ace of Wands. So maybe someone's about to get tired of waiting. Or if there was something that you're waiting for, it's like you're now beginning to shift that energy somewhere else. Put it to something productive. I'm a Pisces, so I resonate with this. I just resonated with that hardcore because today I've had a few periods of impatience, but the period of impatience I hit today was just like, you know what? Everything is still, but everything is moving at the same time. Everything is in motion. Even the things that appear to be still are in motion, right? Everything is in flow. Everything is in motion. Everything has a vibration and a frequency. Even when it appears to be still, it is still in motion. And there were things I got a little bit impatient with today. And it seems like whenever I get I anger, what's the opposite of procrastinate? Sometimes I get mad and I'm like, I'm gonna go do my homework so I can get out of this situation, so I can move forward with my life. And it's like, why does it take me to have to get mad, right? But that's one way with that Temperance. It's like I got impatient, I alchemized it, started doing work, actually made good progress. Last night I got serious about doing my work, and then all of a sudden I find all my notes and I'm like, wow, I can actually do this now, like a lot quicker. I just happened to find my notes and I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed. Made heavy progress today, and I'm going to be finishing that assignment by tomorrow, and I'll be a third of the way done with this one class. And the third sounds like it's a lot, but honestly that's only one more assignment and 3 projects, and the projects are based off of the assignments, and I'm going to have 2 assignments complete. So once the assignment is done, it's like the project should be fairly easy, or at least you know all the principles for the project, right? And so maybe that's another thing with this Temperance. It's like in this period of waiting, it's like, let's say you have another assignment or 2 and then you're going to be coming into these projects, but since if you keep everything in mind that you've already learned, when it comes time to step up, it won't be that difficult. Temperance speaks to the energy of acquiring things over time, right? Temperance isn't a magician energy, but it is the alchemist. And the alchemist uses materials and uses knowledge, right? And acquiring knowledge takes time. Acquiring your materials probably takes time, especially now that Amazon is shut down. Or not shut down, but it's a lot of shipping is slowed down, right? But there's this energy of like bringing things into balance. And then earlier I was like, you know what, I'm not going to rage motivate because that's dumb. But I am going to do this, and I am going to be self-motivated. I don't have to be mad to be motivated. It's time to alchemize that, transmute that, break that. And I can just be motivated. I can be motivated by something higher than anger. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, I know that I'm not in a position that I want to be in to do the things that I want to do for the people that I care about, right? And so that can motivate me just as much as like me not wanting to be in a certain situation or me getting impatient. And so I got an opportunity to transmute that today. And that is something that I actually desire to like have done. Something that I desire to want to complete. So the sentence didn't sound right the way I said it, but the words made sense. Something that I desire to have done. Something that I desire to complete. But yeah, I think Saturn is just going to be putting us in a space to, I think, because there are some extremely positive connotations to this. And so that's going to, this Ace of sort of Wands, maybe it's calling on our deeper desires, because the bottom is the more subconscious element, right? Maybe down here there's something that subconsciously wants to be expressed through your art that can lead to, and this could be like, with this Four of Wands, it's like, I don't know, it's like there's an element of success here, and y'all know Pisces are extremely creative folks. We the creators of the zodiac, right? Because the 12th house is the house of the collective subconscious, and so when you can create from that space, you get all kinds of wonders, right? It can also be, mental asylums and prisons and stuff like that. So be careful, Pisces. Again. But, excuse me. This could also be like, if we can transmute this into creativity, it could be like Spirit's been wanting to bless us, and we could be coming upon the ways that Spirit's going to do that in this time. And that could be also this, like, the beginning of this abundance with this cardinal Earth. But Saturn is, I feel like we have the opportunity with this temperance to really bring something that we desire into the realm of being, right? And Saturn is going to be, I feel like it's going to be restrictive in the sense that it may make it a little harder to get these things done. But like, if we put in the extra effort with that temperance energy coming from Saturn, I feel like that's going to be the ability to really see this be as successful as it can be, or to at least be more successful than if we didn't do anything, right? And this could be with anything. In the in-between space here, we have the Knight of Wands, which is all about going out and doing something, fulfilling a passion. That Sagittarian energy. The Knight of Wands can sometimes get a bad rap for being in and out, but he moves where his desire leads him, just like the Knight of Cups move. The Knight of Cups moves where his or her heart leads them. They move where their heart leads them. This Knight of Wands moves. The Knight of Wands moves where their desires lead them. And we have this Ace of Cups. Now, this is going to be, I feel like this temperance from Saturn is going to be a little bit of a challenge. But again, I feel like if you work through it anyway, if you can see it through, there's an opportunity for it to really pay off. This has been long-ish enough, so I'm going to go to Pluto and then wrap this up. So when it comes to Pluto, we have the Ace of Pentacles, Bread of Life, at the conscious. And then we have the, I'm actually going to put this here. Well, I'm going to do the thumbnail again after. We have the Bread of Life in the conscious, and the Corruptor, Seven of Chalices, in the subconscious. Forefront, the back front. Forefront, background. Forefront, background. Right. So at the forefront is this desire for our worlds to change. Right? Like I said, isolation, quarantine. People want to get out and experience something brand new. People are tired of being cooped up. They want to live life. This may also be, depending on the person, maybe like, maybe, I know quite a few people have been relocating in this time, which is interesting. But it may be a desire to do something like that, to go after something that you actually really want. Here we see, or in Jupiter and Venus, we see a lot of this sort of like mental, or more like emotional aspect of fulfillment, just like really wanting fulfillment. But then coming off of this Saturn temperance, and with this Queen of Pentacles down here, I feel like this is the desire to really begin to experience these things. Again, this could be another opportunity for someone's wealth to turn around somehow. I don't know how. Don't ask me how. Again, even though everything is still, even though everything appears to be still, everything is always in movement. And one thing that I've been hearing a lot is like, you never know when things are going to turn around for you, right? You never know. And I guess I kind of sort of said it too. I don't remember exactly when, but it was the Sun card came out. Maybe it was in the lockdown spread, potentially. No, no, it was a different one. I remember I was using the Pride Tarot, and I was like, I feel like you want to be yourself in all situations because you never know who you're gonna come across. No, maybe it was actually when I did the retrograde readings. I don't know. It was recently, and then it's been affirmed. It's become a synchronicity for me, at least. So yeah, Pisces. I'm a Pisces, right? So it could be a part of the collective energy of Pisces I'm tapping into or living out. You never know when you are like the second a moment from your big break. And that Ace of Pentacles, bread of life, is like big break energy. But I feel like there's this risk down here of corruption. And I feel like this corruption is linked to this Nine of Cups up here. Maybe not immediately, but it's like the same way you can turn to escapism and vices with this Nine of Cups up here. You could be consumed by whatever this wealth is. I feel like also at the same time, maybe this wealth is to build something. And so with this corruptor, there's an opportunity to like be wasteful of it. And I feel like that wouldn't be great. Excuse me. Pluto also rules wealth, right? So, I mean, it's one of the things that it's lesser known for ruling, but the god Pluto in Greco-Roman mythology, Pluto, Hades, it, like, as ruler of the underworld, it rules wealth. He rules wealth because, you know, the precious gems, ores, minerals, oil, right? A lot of valuable things, gold, comes from underground. It's mined up from underground and then sold on the surface, right? And so wealth is in his domain. And so we have this Jupiter wheel. I feel like one way to look at this, especially for Pisces, I guess, because these are the cards that came out. I mean, retrograde seasons can be difficult, but again, they could be beautiful times. But it's like over here, we're seeking fulfillment with Venus. We are being put in a space to potentially see the things that we wish to desire made manifest, or Saturn is getting us to come up with a plan to make this happen. Jupiter is bringing the fortune if we can take the hint from Saturn and incorporate the structure and actually see this made better. But it's also asking us, you know, as Jupiter being the planet of expansion, maybe to get it out there, put it out there for other people to see. And then Pluto is in a way bringing us, backing all of this by bringing in this wealth. And again, like we see the wealth down here, right? Let's see what's at the middle point here. Oh yeah, I saw it before, I forgot. Archangel of Glory. The angel of art and grace. The angel of art and grace. You see that? Art and grace. So definitely creative vibes. Definitely opportunities, I guess, for the Pisces. Y'all put that creativity to good use. I'm going to take this picture for the thumbnail real quick. But, you know, there's an opportunity to sort of put that to good use and to create something beautiful that will bring you fulfillment, or to begin to put you on the stage to seek or to get fulfillment, to claim it in some way. There we go. I can take a picture like that. Boom. Nice. Boom. Boom. Firepower. I'm sorry. But yeah, again, I feel like this is a warning to not get sidetracked or distracted. Because I feel like this is almost the energy of like, once this Jupiter wheel And so at the bottom of the deck here is the Five of Cups, the grotesque, right? Seven of Cups, Five of Cups. There's a lot of water on the table. I mean, Venus brought basically nothing but water, and then fire energy here. And then, so we have water, fire here, and judgment. Fire here, temperance, bringing the water and the fire into balance. Fire and water here, then we see the introduction of earth, carried over earth, and then fire, water, earth. The only air on the table is not actually on the table. All of the air is off of the table, sitting at the bottom of the deck between the Venus retrograde and the Jupiter retrograde. These have air in the background. Both of these are backed by water, which is even more water. There's actually there's no air on this table. Pisces, I feel like that's something to look out for. If you have a great idea, you could have the best invention on the planet, but if you can't convince people that they need it, or if you can't convince people that you're solving a problem, no one's going to buy it. If you can't communicate your ideas, you're limiting your success, and there's no communication here. There's no communication here. Why is there no communication here, Pisces? This concerns me. I don't want to say anyway, let me focus on this. But yeah, I'll come back to that. But we have the Archangel of, what is this? It's not the Archangel Commander. Archangel of Glory. Yeah, the Archangel of Glory. We have the Archangel of Glory here. Who is that? Raphael? Gabriel. That's Gabriel. And so definitely an opportunity for some artistic endeavor to pop off. I was already getting artsy vibes. And then here we see Ace of Pentacles, but the Seven of Cups is also here. And I guess the Seven of Cups, maybe there's a lot of stuff that you want to do, and when things begin to turn, you might begin to do that. And again, I feel like there's this commonality here. It's an ability to distract. What Temperance is asking you to keep things in balance. Temperance may be asking you at the same time that you're putting the little bit of extra effort to really make whatever you're creating pop. Temperance may be asking you to hold off on going buck wild on getting new cars, new TVs, depending on the level of abundance coming in. It may be asking you to, be wise with it. Yeah, with this corruptor backing Pluto, that's interesting. And then we have the Five of Cups. So I guess with the Five of Cups and the corruptor, that could be potentially the energy of because you're going to be sitting in this space of the King of Wands, right? And the King of Wands is seen. He's seen. You may come into a level of success where you have no choice but to be seen. Or you may come into a position that puts you in the spotlight, and that's something else I heard today. And then with this Five of Cups, I feel like that could be the energy of like I said, there's no air here. There's no communication here. So that could be the energy of people who you haven't talked to in a while now seeing you trying to come back, but it's basically because they're trying to use you or something. I don't know. Watch out for that, I guess. It is Pluto retrograde. Night of the Living Zombies. People you ain't heard from for years might be coming back, shambling, coming for your coin, girl. And I feel like there's also something sinister about that Five of Cups because it feels like it might have been someone that you want to be there, or you want it to be there, and they may come back, but they may not be coming back for the reasons that you had hoped that they would. Four of Cups is also here, which is, again, was waiting. want to see where the Eight of Cups is in one of these decks. I'm going to look and see where the Eight of Cups is in this deck, because I feel like this deals with somebody else. I don't even know if I remember what the Eight of Cups. Oh, it's literally right there. There's the Eight of Cups. It was the third card. So sitting between the Five of Pentacles and the Four of Swords. I don't like that. That to me, the Five of Pentacles and the Four of Swords looks like potentially being stuck in a situation that you don't really like. It seems very, maybe not completely toxic, but very combative, and there's a lot of tension here. But it may be the case that like you'd rather be with this person and things be combative and tense than you would to walk away from that person. And then I'm going to look for the Eight of Cups and the SKT just to see if maybe you should or not. What does the Eight of Cups look like in this deck? Yeah, I remember. Okay. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, either you're going to walk away or you're not. But yeah, there's the energy of someone looking in from the outside who wants to be on the inside, but I don't think they want to be on the inside because of you, or because they necessarily want to be there. It's sitting between the Queen of Cups and the Three of Cups, which is the Four of Cups all together. But she may be trying to protect you from this, because he's walking away from this Three of Cups towards this Queen of Cups. And we have the Queen of Cups here, which is interesting. So now I'm going to look. No, I already looked for the Eight of Cups in that deck. So it's tied to the Venus retrograde. It may be a past lover who you really wanted things to work with. And one of the weird things is that like sometimes some people can feel your success before you even feel it. Maybe not. But then it's like, I don't know. It's just weird that there's no air here. And it feels like someone's on the outside looking in wanting to be a part of it. Now, someone on the outside looking in wanting to be a part of it doesn't always have to be something bad. Because again, we have this Queen of Cups here. And I felt the Queen of Cups is like she's cardinal water, so it's maybe something that didn't really start that you want to resume. But then the Six of Cups is here. But with this Judgment card, I feel like this is a story that's been rewritten. Maybe you've gone through some inner child healing, and it'll make this work where it didn't before. Maybe the other person has too. And then this Temperance would be like both people sort of going through that alchemizing healing and showing up more balanced, where you can more easily pour from one cup into another. Again, the scales are there. That's basically justice, right? I mean, it's not basically justice, but maybe a situation that took a while to come to justice because maybe something that you had to heal within yourself or address. But yeah, there's no air here. There's no air here. There's no communication. There's lots of desire, we have the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands with this Ace. That's basically 3 Ace energies when it comes to Wands. And then we have the Four of Wands, which is a celebration. We have 2 Aces of Pentacles in the Ace and in the Queen. When it comes to Cups, we have 1 Ace in that Queen. So yeah, I mean, we have court cards from every element except air. There's no air on this table. I don't know why that's freaking me out. I don't know what that means. Air is also the element of the unseen. It's the element of space. as well as the element of thought. And it's also an element of action. So there's no communication. Fire can also be an element of action. I mean, the King of Wands and the Knight of Wands are both here. But fire can also be the element, like, if there's no action behind it, like, it could be like that all bark, no bite, like all talk. It's that all talk energy. Fire in excess could be the energy of something that looks good on the outside, but it doesn't really have any substance, or it doesn't have a ground that it stands on its own. Like fire sucks the air, or it sucks the oxygen out of the air. So without oxygen, people can't breathe, right? So there's also, I guess, this suffocating energy here because there's so much fire. And then fire leads to smoke. So not only is the fire burning the oxygen in the air, but it's also putting smoke in the air, which is making it even harder to breathe. Maybe with this Five of Cups, Nine of Swords, and somewhat Four of Cups, maybe someone is desiring relocation or someone wants to move. And they're sort of coming off of this suffocation feeling at the same time. But like I said, like there are people who are like moving at this point in time. Like one of my friends a few weeks ago got a new job in Chicago. And so he moved from some fairly big city to Chicago. Got a new job. Like people are moving, like life is still happening. Interestingly enough for some folks, right? But yeah, I don't know why there's no air on this table, Pisces. I feel like I've touched on a few things it could be, but it could also be a few more things, right? What just came to mind, there's something about creating spaces or creating a space. And maybe again that's coming out of the let me look and see where the Six of Swords is in the Saturn deck, because that move should be something that, you know, is blessed by Saturn, because, you know, you don't want it to not be productive or great, right? Here's the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is in between the Two of Swords and the Eight of Cups. So somebody may definitely be feeling of like moving and relocating, because the Two of Swords is a decision. Eight of Cups is wanting to like move away from something. Move away from something or move towards something. Yeah, creating a space. What's that about? It could be literally with this Ace of Pentacles especially, and with this Ace of Wands here. This could be like, I don't know like what this idea is, but with creating a space, it could be filling a void that isn't currently being filled, or so, I mean the Nine of Cups is here. It's not a star card, but sometimes it's like, you know, whenever you're making a wish, why are you making that wish? Substance use and abuse came up in the vibe, because again, Pisces, not all Pisces, but you know, Pisces. Escapist tendencies. I guess there's an opportunity to act kind of sort of rashly, and the only balancing force on the board really is this one Temperance card that Sagittarius is bringing. Everything else is like, and I guess the Judgment card is also here to have you stop and take pause, but I don't know. I'm gonna end this here, Pisces, because this is long enough. I feel like I shouldn't leave it when I'm stumped. I'm not necessarily stumped, I'm just a little bit bewildered. But yeah, I guess if you're looking to relocate, the Knight of Swords is here. And so I feel like you would have given it some thought. The Nine of Swords is here. Nine of Swords and the Nine of Cups between the 4 and the 5. I guess between the 4 and the 5, yeah, that's a desire to escape something. But I feel like it's a move that's gonna make sense though. I mean, the Knight of Wands is here, um, so that could be the desire for some movement as well. I gotta record Aquarius again tonight. I mean, I'm trying to do 2 tonight. It's already 12:02. I'm trying to get some sleep. Pisces, I might just have to shut this down here. Shoot. Maybe click to the link in the description for the extended, where we dig in to see what this is all about. Actually, I'm gonna pull a Leo King. Well, I don't know if he pulls a Wisdom of Lord Ganesha card sometimes. I literally bought the cards because I saw him using them, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love Lord Ganesha. So, Lord Ganesha and Kali are my two from the Hindu pantheon. Don't really know too much about them or the pantheon itself, but I just resonate with those two. So I'm going to pull a Wisdom of Lord Ganesha card to see if Lord Ganesha can sort of help me make sense of why there's no air here, or what to do about the lack of air in the situation. Communication may be hard for some of these Pisces. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just like, why is there no air? There is no air. Heavy water and fire. No air. Okay. Are you not talking to the people? Like, if someone is making you upset or whatever, like, are you not talking to them? Are you just silently fuming and ranting and doing all kinds of stuff and holding it against them? Boiling below the surface and no one knows why. The card that came out is Generosity, number 10. I don't know if this will necessarily tell me why there's no air here, but that is definitely speaking to this. When I was like, maybe. Let's see. I'm going to read this. Number 10, Generosity. 10 is also the Wheel of Fortune. So I guess it's interesting that the message more directly correlates to that. So generosity. Compassion for others is a natural result of being aware and conscious of your own feelings. When you are generous in spirit, you take complete responsibility for your life. Work with Ganesha to assist you with stepping up to do the right thing. This is especially important when you are filled with fear and filled with fear and conflicting feelings. This is not what I expected from generosity. Respect others and live a conscious life. Champion others, support them, and actively want them to succeed. Living from this space will create an open heart and mind that will touch anyone who comes into your presence. Be tolerant of ideas and behaviors that may not align with your own thoughts. Spend more time looking at what is good and positive in someone else rather than what you judge as negative or bad. Embrace others' differences. Give freely and from your heart. Choose to no longer manipulate and do not do favors with strings attached. As you continue to give, you may find that you no longer envy others. You will be able to give easily and at the same time receive when the same is offered to you. This will go a long way to eliminating the feeling of being separated from others, and you may find yourself genuinely happy. Look for and assume the best in people, and treat others with respect and acceptance. Ooh, that's not what I expected from generosity at all, but I'm loving that message. I'm loving that message. I feel like it spoke to a lot of things that I forgot by the time I was done reading it, but you heard it. Whatever it speaks to for you, do that. What just popped in, it took me a second to get it, but what just popped into my mind is like, oh, I just lost it. I need to quit explaining and just start saying it. To the one who gives much, much is returned. is what came to my mind. Or much is returned to the one who gives a lot. And so I guess that could be one reason why air isn't here. I don't think we should necessarily completely disregard logic. But there are some times when intuition trumps logic. When our intuition will tell us to do something that may not seem logical. And the Queen of Cups is here, which is the minor High Priestess. There's a lot of water here. Or quite a bit of water. There's a lot of fire more than anything, but quite a bit of water here as well. So don't neglect your intuition in this time, Pisces. Maybe there's no air here because there are things that aren't necessarily being explicitly said, but things that you can kind of sort of intuitively pick up on as going on or going down. And again, it's going to be important to keep an open mind and an open heart and to not judge people, as generosity just said. Because in that open mind and open-heartedness could be the key to really getting you to progress forward, right? Because if this isn't an artistic project that you are making, it could be it's like someone could be recognizing your kind and generous heart. And someone may see that in you. And someone may want that for something. I don't know. I try not to get too heavy into the realm of predicting. I mean, do I know? Not really. But this is all energy. This is all fluid. We're coming, like, a lot of these planets are going to be retrograde for a minute. Venus goes direct, I believe, next month. But it's going to be in its post-retrograde shadow until, like, late July, I think. Maybe, like, sometime in July. It's not going to be in Cancer until, like, somewhere around the Lionsgate portal, which is August 8th. I believe is when it moves into Cancer. And it's, like, in the last decan of Gemini. So even when it goes direct, it's going to be in its post-shadow for a minute. Pluto's going to be retrograde until October. I believe Jupiter or Saturn is going to be retrograde until September. So, I mean, this is definitely going to be over a period of time. But it's almost like the quicker you can realize and recognize this, the quicker you can integrate some of these lessons, the quicker you can get started. And that's where I'm going to leave this. I hope you have a good whatever whenever you see this, and I'll catch you whenever I catch you next.